The air, thick and heavy with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers, hangs like a blanket under the immense green roof of the world. This is a rainforest 6 million years in the past, a time long before cities, before language as we know it, before humanity itself. Sunlight struggles to pierce the dense canopy, casting down shifting ethereal beams that dapple the forest floor. Gigantic ferns, older than memory, unfurl their fronds in the perpetual twilight. The world is a symphony of sounds, the drone of insects, the distant cry of an unknown bird, the rustle of leaves betraying movement high above or deep within the undergrowth. Here, life and death are intimate partners, their dance playing out in every moment. This ancient forest is a realm of colossal trees, their trunks like the pillars of a great green cathedral, draped in thick vines and mosses. Strange, vibrant orchids cling to their bark, adding splashes of brilliant colour to the endless shades of green and brown. The ground is a soft carpet of fallen leaves, constantly decaying and replenishing, feeding the soil that gives life to this sprawling ecosystem. A gentle stream, its water clear and cool, winds its way through the tangled roots, a vital artery in this living world. It is a place of immense beauty, but also of profound and constant challenge, where every inhabitant must be alert, resourceful and resilient to see the next sunrise. Life here moves to a rhythm dictated by the sun and the seasons, a pulse that has beaten steadily for millennia. There are no clocks, no calendars, only the slow turning of the sky and the subtle cues of the natural world. The air itself feels ancient, filled with the breath of countless generations of plants and creatures. It is a world teeming with life in every conceivable form, from the smallest beetle scurrying across a leaf to the large, shadowy figures that move through the trees. This is the cradle of our own existence, the world that shaped the very first chapters of our story, long before we were recognizably human. Every rustle, every scent, every flicker of movement carries meaning. The snap of a twig could signal a predator nearby, while the sweet fragrance on the breeze might lead to a precious source of ripe fruit. Survival depends on interpreting these subtle signs, on understanding the complex language of the forest. This is a world of instinct and intuition, where senses are honed to a razor's edge. In this verdant, vibrant and perilous world, the journey of our earliest ancestors is just beginning, their future an unwritten story waiting to unfold amongst the giant trees and hidden dangers of this forgotten Eden. Among the tangled roots and towering trees live the creatures who stand at the dawn of our lineage. They are not yet human, but they are not quite apes as we know them today. Let us call them the first folk. They are smaller than us, covered in dark hair that protects them from the sun and the rain. Their faces are more forward-jutting, with strong jaws for chewing tough plant matter, but their eyes hold a nascent spark of curiosity and intelligence. These are the hominins, the evolutionary branch that would over millions of years lead directly to us. They are a crucial link in the chain of life, a testament to nature's endless experimentation. These ancestors walk with a unique gait, a mixture of two worlds. They are adept climbers, their long arms and grasping feet perfectly suited for life in the canopy, where safety and sustenance can often be found. Yet they are also beginning to spend more time on the forest floor, taking tentative upright steps. This bipedalism, however temporary or awkward, is a revolutionary adaptation. It frees their hands, allowing them to carry food, to hold their young, or perhaps one day to grasp a tool. This simple act of walking on 2 feet is a profound shift, setting them on a path that no other primate would follow in quite the same way. Their days are governed by the fundamental needs of all living things. They wake with the first light, their small family groups stirring in nests built in the safety of the trees. The world they inhabit is rich with resources, but it offers them up grudgingly. Their minds, though not capable of complex planning, are constantly working, remembering the locations of fruit-laden trees or hidden water sources. They possess a deep instinctual knowledge of their environment, passed down not through words but through observation and imitation. They are a part of the forest, their lives woven into its very fabric. The first folk are social beings, their survival intrinsically linked to their ability to cooperate and communicate. They groom each other, strengthening bonds and maintaining hygiene. They share information through a complex repertoire of gestures, body postures and vocalizations, hoots, grunts and calls that convey warnings, excitement or contentment. These simple interactions are the building blocks of the complex societies that would later define humanity. In their gestures and their gazes, we can see the faint, ancient origins of our own need for connection, for family, and for community. Every day is a search for food, a constant, pressing need that drives all action from dawn until dusk. The forest is a vast larder, but its contents are scattered and often difficult to obtain. The first folk are primarily herbivores, their diet a varied collection of what the environment provides. They feast on ripe, sweet fruits that hang high in the canopy, a burst of energy well worth the difficult climb. They strip tender leaves from branches, chew on soft pith from inside stems, and dig for nutritious roots and tubers in the soft earth. Their strong teeth and powerful jaws are essential tools for processing this tough, fibrous fare. The search is a sensory experience, guided by sight, smell, and a deep, ancestral memory. They know the distinctive colours of ripening figs and the unique shape of leaves that signal an edible root below. The sweet, cloying scent of fermenting fruit on the forest floor is an irresistible invitation, a promise of a high-calorie meal. This knowledge is not taught in lessons, but learned through a lifetime of observation, of watching their elders and experimenting cautiously. A mistake, eating a poisonous berry or a toxic leaf, could be fatal, so the stakes of this daily education are incredibly high for every member of the group. Their hands, now increasingly free from the demands of locomotion, are becoming more adept. While they have not yet fashioned stone tools, they are clever users of what the environment offers. A sturdy stick becomes a digging implement, helping to unearth stubborn tubers from the soil. A large leaf can be folded to scoop water from a stream, a temporary cup to quench a pressing thirst. These simple, opportunistic uses of objects are the first glimmers of technology, the very earliest expressions of a problem-solving intelligence that would one day allow their descendants to reshape the entire planet. This relentless quest for calories shapes their entire existence. It dictates their travel patterns, leading them on nomadic journeys through their territory as different plants come into season. It influences their social structure, as foraging in a group offers both increased efficiency and greater safety. The constant need for food is a powerful evolutionary pressure, favouring those individuals with better memory, sharper senses, and a greater capacity for learning and cooperation. In this daily struggle for sustenance, the fundamental traits that would lead to our success were being forged and refined. The primeval rainforest is not a peaceful sanctuary, it is an arena of survival where danger lurks behind every leaf and in every shadow. For the first folk, who are neither the strongest nor the fastest creatures, life is a state of constant vigilance. Their senses are perpetually tuned to the environment, listening for the unnatural silence that precedes an ambush or the sharp, piercing alarm call of a bird. Predators are a constant threat. Massive, powerful ancestors of modern leopards, with dagger-like canines, stalk the branches above, their spotted coats offering perfect camouflage amidst the dappled light. They are silent, patient hunters, and a moment of inattention can be the last. On the ground, other dangers await. Giant snakes, thick as a human thigh, lie coiled in the undergrowth, relying on ambush and constriction to secure their meals. Large, aggressive boars with formidable tusks roam the forest floor, and a chance encounter could easily turn deadly. Even the rivers and streams hide threats, such as ancient crocodilians that lie motionless, waiting for an animal to come to the water's edge to drink. The first folk are acutely aware of these perils. Their survival depends not on fighting, but on avoidance, awareness, and a swift retreat to the relative safety of the trees. The sky is not safe either. Huge birds of prey with wingspans that could dwarf a modern eagle soar above the canopy. Their eyesight is incredibly sharp, capable of spotting a small, vulnerable hominin from a great height. The young are particularly at risk, and mothers keep their infants clinging tightly to their bodies at all times. An alarm call from one member of the group sends everyone scrambling for cover, their movements swift and instinctive. This shared sense of vulnerability binds them together, reinforcing the idea that there is safety in numbers and that the eyes and ears of the group are far more effective than those of a single individual. Beyond the threat of predators, the environment itself is a formidable adversary. A sudden, violent thunderstorm can unleash torrential rain, causing flash floods and sending loose branches crashing to the ground. A misstep on a slippery branch can lead to a crippling fall, a death sentence in a world with no medicine. Sickness and injury are constant companions. A festering wound or a debilitating illness would weaken an individual, making them an easy target for a predator or leaving them unable to keep up with the foraging group. Every day is a tightrope walk over a chasm of mortality. In this world of immediate struggle and survival, the drive to reproduce is as fundamental as the need for food and water. The future of the first folk depends on the choices they make in the present, and selecting a mate is the most important choice of all. This is not a decision based on love or romance in the human sense, but on a deep, instinctual assessment of fitness and viability. The language of this choice is spoken through physical cues and behaviours, signs that signal health, strength, and the potential for successful offspring. Each individual is, in essence, a living advertisement of their genetic quality. For a female, the choice of a male partner is a critical investment. She will carry the young, nurse them and protect them through their most vulnerable years. She instinctively seeks a male who can offer protection and resources. This translates to physical signs of strength, a robust build, a confident posture and the ability to hold his own within the group's social hierarchy. A successful forager, one who consistently finds food, is also highly attractive. His ability to provide for himself suggests he carries good genes for survival and may even share his bounty, increasing her own chances and those of her future offspring. For a male, the criteria are different but no less crucial. He is drawn to signs of health and fertility in a female. Clear eyes, a full coat of hair, and an energetic, healthy appearance are all indicators that she is capable of bearing and raising strong young. Youth is also a powerful attractant, as a younger female has more reproductive years ahead of her. The males compete with each other for access to the most desirable females, but this competition is not always about overt, violent conflict. More often it is about display, posture, and establishing a dominant position within the group that grants preferential mating rights. This process of selection is a silent, ongoing negotiation within the group. It is a dance of assessment and display that happens every day. A male might show off his strength by shaking a large branch or making a loud, impressive vocalization. A female might signal her receptiveness through subtle body language or by choosing to groom a particular male. These are not conscious strategies, but deep-seated, evolved behaviors that ensure the strongest and healthiest genes are passed on to the next generation, giving the species its best possible chance of enduring in a harsh and unforgiving world. Before mating, there are rituals, a series of behaviours that form the dance of courtship. These are not elaborate, planned ceremonies, but rather instinctual patterns of interaction that test compatibility and solidify a choice. A male, having identified a potential partner, might initiate this dance by approaching the female cautiously. He might bring her an offering, a choice piece of fruit or a particularly tasty root he has dug up. This simple act is more than just a gift of food. It is a demonstration of his ability as a provider, a tangible signal of his value as a mate. It shows he can contribute to her well-being. The female's response is just as important. She might accept the offering, a sign of encouragement that allows the courtship to proceed, or she might reject it, turning away to signal her lack of interest, forcing the male to try his luck elsewhere. If she is receptive, the interactions may become more intimate. Grooming is a crucial part of this process. The act of carefully picking through a partner's fur, removing parasites and debris, is not merely about hygiene. It is a deeply social behaviour that builds trust and creates a bond between two individuals, a quiet affirmation of their growing connection. Males also engage in elaborate displays to capture the attention of females and to intimidate rivals. These are performances of vitality and power. A male might stand tall, puffing out his chest to appear larger and more formidable. He might let out a series of loud, booming hoots that echo through the forest, advertising his presence and his strength to all who can hear. Sometimes he will perform a physical feat, like shaking a small tree violently or drumming on its trunk with his fists. These are not acts of mindless aggression, but calculated signals designed to say, I am strong, I am healthy, I am worthy. This period of courtship allows for a crucial period of assessment. The female can observe the male over time, judging his consistency as a forager, his social standing within the group, and his temperament. Is he overly aggressive? Is he attentive? Does he have the respect of the other males? These subtle observations help her make a more informed choice, one that goes beyond mere physical appearance. This careful, unhurried dance ensures that the resulting pairing is not just a fleeting encounter, but a partnership with a better chance of successfully raising the next generation. No single individual, no matter how strong or clever, could survive for long in this perilous world alone. The first folk understand this not through reasoned logic, but through the deep, powerful pull of instinct. Their survival is entirely dependent on the group. This small, cohesive band of relatives and companions forms a protective circle, a mobile fortress against the dangers of the forest. They forage together, travel together, and rest together. The group provides more eyes to watch for predators, more hands to gather food, and a collective knowledge of the territory that surpasses what any single member could possess. The social structure of the group is complex, a web of relationships built on dominance, alliances, and kinship. There is often a dominant male who achieves his position not just through brute strength but through social intelligence, the ability to form coalitions and maintain the support of others. He may get preferential access to food and mates, but his position comes with responsibility. He is often at the forefront of defence, placing himself between the group and a threat. This hierarchy, while sometimes enforced by conflict, provides a sense of order and stability, reducing incessant squabbling and allowing the group to function more effectively. The raising of young is a communal affair. While a mother has the primary bond with her infant, the entire group plays a role in its upbringing and protection. Other females, perhaps aunts or older siblings, will watch over a youngster while its mother forages nearby. The young learn by observing and imitating everyone in the group, not just their parents. They learn which foods are safe, how to react to danger, and the complex social rules of their society through this immersive, lifelong education. This collective parenting strategy increases the chances that the vulnerable young will survive to adulthood. This deep-seated need for a community is one of the most powerful legacies they have passed on to us. The bonds forged through shared experience, mutual grooming and collective defence are the ancient roots of our own complex social emotions: friendship, loyalty, empathy, and a sense of belonging. The profound feeling of loneliness we experience when isolated is an echo of this ancient survival imperative. For the first folk, being alone was a death sentence. To be part of the group was to have a chance at life, a chance to see another day, and a chance to contribute to the future. Though 6 million years separate us from the world of the first folk, their lives continue to echo in our own in countless, often unconscious ways. The behaviours they developed to survive in the primeval rainforest are embedded deep within our modern human psychology. Consider our innate fear of snakes and spiders, a reaction far more common and potent than our fear of cars or electrical sockets, which are statistically far more dangerous in our world. This is a primal fear, an evolutionary hangover from a time when a rustle in the leaves could mean a venomous bite, passed down through countless generations that survived by being wary. Our social behaviours also carry the imprint of our ancient past. The deep satisfaction we get from being part of a team, a community or a family is a direct descendant of the hominin reliance on the group for survival. The anxiety of being an outcast or the pain of loneliness is the modern expression of the ancient terror of being left behind by the group, which meant certain death. Even our tendency to form hierarchies in workplaces and social circles mirrors the dominant structures that brought order to the lives of our ancestors, a system for navigating group dynamics that has been with us since the very beginning. The ancient criteria for selecting a mate also persist, albeit beneath a thick veneer of culture and conscious thought. Modern studies of attraction often reveal a preference for signs of health, youth, and vitality, clear skin, symmetrical features, and an energetic demeanour. Men are often drawn to indicators of fertility, while women, on average, place a higher value on a partner's ability to provide resources and security. These are not cold calculations, but deep-seated preferences shaped by millions of years of evolutionary pressure. The faint whispers of our ancestors guiding our choices in a world they could never have imagined. Even our diet and health are linked to this distant past. Our craving for sugar and fats is an echo of a time when these high-calorie foods were rare and precious sources of energy, essential for survival. In the ancient forest, it made sense to gorge on ripe fruit or a fatty piece of scavenged meat whenever possible. Today, in a world of abundance, this same craving contributes to modern health problems like obesity and diabetes. We are, in many ways, ancient creatures living in a modern world, our bodies and minds still running on the software programmed for the African rainforest. From those tentative first steps on the forest floor, a long and winding path led to the world we know today. The story of humanity is a story of evolution, but it is also a story of choices. The choices made by our distant ancestors 6 million years ago set the entire process in motion. The choice to walk upright, freeing the hands. The choice of which foods to eat, shaping our bodies and brains. The choice to form cooperative groups, laying the foundation for society. And most importantly, the choice of a mate, the mechanism by which the most successful traits were selected, refined and passed down through the ages. These were not conscious choices made with foresight, but instinctual decisions driven by the immediate needs of survival and reproduction. Yet their cumulative effect was transformative. Each time a female chose a male who was a slightly better provider or a little more intelligent, she nudged the course of our evolution. Each time a group with slightly better cooperation survived a drought or a predator attack, they ensured those social traits would continue. It was a slow, incremental process of selection, playing out over millions of years, that gradually sculpted the ape-like first folk into the tool-wielding, fire-making, globe-spanning species we are today. The ultimate legacy of these early ancestors is the very thing that makes us human. Our extraordinary adaptability, our profound social nature, and our capacity for intelligent choice. The challenges of the ancient rainforest, finding food, avoiding predators, and navigating a complex social world, were the crucible in which our defining characteristics were forged. Our large brains, our ability to cooperate in vast numbers, and our instinct for innovation are all solutions to the problems faced by the first folk. We carry their history within our DNA, our minds, and our deepest instincts. As we look at the world around us, at our sprawling cities, our complex technologies, and our global societies, it is humbling to remember where it all began. It started in a quiet, misty forest with a small, hairy creature making a choice about what to eat, where to step, whom to trust, and with whom to share a future. We are the result of an unbroken chain of successful choices stretching back millions of years. The dawn of humanity was not a single event, but a slow, unfolding sunrise that began with our earliest ancestors, whose struggles and triumphs in a long-vanished world made our own existence possible.